Hello and welcome back. I am jeffgrantMEDIA. In today's real user review, we are going to be talking about the Constant Mountain Sideline Puffer and Sideline Rain Jacket. Now, Constant Mountain did send me these as samples for review, but all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. And I share the contents of this video with Constant Mountain prior to publication. They will see this when you do. And just that, there will be affiliate links in the description box down below. If you're considering buying either of these products, please consider using those links. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do earn a small commission from that sale. All the money goes back in the channel, help me produce more content so consumers can make informed purchasing decisions. So today you can see it's snowy. It's about 26 degrees out here. Don't really have much need for a rain jacket. And I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to use the rain jacket that much until the spring. But now that the weather cooled back down, but we had a good stretch there of like probably about a week of 40s to 50s, and we had like 3 days of solid rain. And I got some good wear and use out of the rain jacket. So we are going to be diving into that today as well. But I have gotten a lot of wear and a lot of use out of the puffer. I have now tested this down to, with the wind chills, I think they were saying it was like minus 15 to minus 25. It was probably about minus 15 when I was out there. I did have to take the dog out. He does still have to go outside and go to the bathroom. So I was out there with him. I actually walked him around the block with, I think the wind chill, it was between minus 12 and minus 15 with this in a hoodie on underneath. We'll get into all of that, but I did test this in some pretty extreme conditions. And I did get to use the rain jacket as well much sooner than I had anticipated. And I think next week we're going to be back up into the 50s. So I think I'm going to get a lot more wear out of the rain jacket because it looks like there is some precipitation in the forecast. And this is what I'm going to be going to because 50 degrees is going to feel like 90 degrees to me right now because I am so used to it being in the 20s to single digits without the wind chill. Now, the Constant Mountain Infinity Pocket Sideline Down Puffer Jacket comes in at $259 USD. It is available in carbon black, quiet shade gray, insignia blue, and seen here in the forest moss green. It is available in sizes small through 3XL, and the price will remain the same no matter what size you get, which is a bonus because a lot of companies will up the price once you hit 2X and above for more materials used. Now, this jacket is made with 650 fill power premium goose down insulation. The shell of the jacket is 100% polyester ripstop with PFAS PFC free finish. The jacket is constructed of a good size baffle to keep all of that down filling where it needs to be. And the Infinity Pocket is just what you think. It is a hoodie style kangaroo pocket that goes all the way through. And in addition to the Infinity Pocket, behind that we do have two hidden stash pockets with their own zippers, so you can still secure things like keys and gloves without them falling out. Now, the Constant Mountain Infinity Pocket Sideline Rain Jacket comes in at $199 USD. It is available in carbon black, forest moss green, insignia blue, and seen here in quiet shade gray. It is also available in sizes small through 3XL. It is made from a 10K breathable waterproof shell. It comes equipped with underarm zipper vents to help you breathe in those warmer months. And just like the puffer, the rain jacket also features the kangaroo hoodie style infinity pocket with those hidden stash pockets behind so you can still secure all of those loose items. Okay, so let's start with the Sideline Puffer. Now, this has been one of many jackets that I have reviewed this season, but I will say this has been the warmest. So I've now, like I said earlier in the intro, I've tested this down to negative 15-ish degrees with the wind chill, and I had a hoodie underneath, and I will say the only thing that was cold was my nose and my fingertips. Even though I had full gloves on at that point, still my fingertips were a little bit cold, and my nose, if I had forgotten a scarf or if I was just breathing too heavy, the condensation wet my scarf up. That was it. My body was warm. If I wear this walking the dog in like the 30-degree temperature, I'm actually getting too warm, and I have to unzip it to vent myself because I just get actually too warm wearing this when it's 30 degrees. Because this is 650 goose down, it's not a synthetic, it's going to be warmer than the same 650 fill power of a synthetic. Now, there are pros and cons of each. A goose down will be warmer. It's going to be a lot warmer, and again, I wore this some very, very cold temperatures, where I do have a 650 fill synthetic puffer as well, that I would not even touch that jacket if it's below 20. I'm not grabbing that. This I wore with the negatives and I was completely fine. So the trade-off being that the synthetic will retain its loft when it gets wet. Now they will both compress, but if this jacket were to get wet, the goose down feathers will basically compact and fall to the bottom. That's why you have all of these baffles throughout the jacket. These are essentially little pockets of air that hold the goose down, because if you didn't have these, all the down filling would just fall and you have a bunch of it around the waist. So these little baffles keep all of the goose down feathers where they need to be. Now, one thing, I haven't had this yet because I've only been using this now 2 months or so, is eventually you will see, with the goose down at least, you will see actually the goose down feathers will start to poke through some of the shell. Usually that happens after a while when you really start to, you know, toss this in a closet at the end of the year, or you're kind of getting towards that spring season where you might be cramming this in a backpack. You might see some of those feathers migrating out. It's okay, it's gonna happen. Don't worry about it. There's still a ton of them in there. But if you are going to go out in the damper, wetter conditions, that's when you're gonna want to be combining it with, say, the rain shell, because that's gonna keep this down, keep all of its loft. Now, that's the trade-off. You're either gonna have warmer conditions with a actual goose down, or you're gonna be able to retain some of that loft with a synthetic. I like both depending upon the situation, but I will say this has been great. I've worn this hiking now. I've worn this every single day to work. I've worn this walking the dog. I've worn this just living my life on the daily, and it has been a great layer to wear. Again, wore this in some very, very cold temperatures. Once I start breaching those mid-30s, I'm getting a little sweaty. Now, I will say it has been excessively cold this year. I think we've had some of the coldest temps since 1997 in this area, so it doesn't generally get this cold. So my body did acclimate to some of those really, really cold temperatures. So once it gets warmer out, if I were to throw this puffer on next season in the fall, when it's just starting to reach those 30-degree temperatures, this is gonna be a great layer. I'm not going to be overheating. But right now, I'm used to it. My body is acclimated to being so cold that 30 degrees is actually kind of warm. 40 degrees, I was walking around in just a hoodie, not even a vest over that, like mid-40s, I was walking around in just a hoodie, and I was probably getting a little warm doing that as well. So the temperature rating of this, I would say for this time of the year, if it wasn't this cold, you can easily wear this down into the single digits, probably into the mid-40s, and be completely fine with it. Now, a few of the features we talked about is the infinity pocket, which is just what it seems. It is an infinity pocket. It goes straight through. Now, the one thing I thought was going to work with this jacket was going to be I could get to the inside, and we'll talk about it. There is a way to do it now. I did a short on it if you missed it. I'm also going to demonstrate in this video, but one of the things that I thought was going to be was that I could get to the inside of the jacket through that pocket. I thought the infinity pocket came in and then you could kind of weave your way back out, but it is just that. It is a kangaroo pocket. There's a double zipper seam here, and inside that, in the pocket area, it's just opened up. So when your hands are in your pockets, you have this pass through that your hands will come straight out. Now, it does have that back zipper pocket that is still inside there, and you can still secure things in there. I actually have my car keys in there right now. They are zipped in because I'm in the woods and I don't want to lose them. So there is a double pocketing system, but you can still get to the inside of the jacket. Mostly where that would come in handy is if you're combining this with the rain shell. All right, it's raining, it's snowing. I put my rain shell on so I don't get my down jacket wet, compress all those goose down feathers, lose all my loft, and get cold. But I still have my infinity pocket here that I go all the way through. But my car keys are inside my jacket. Now, there's two ways I can go about this. It's raining. I unzip my rain shell to go into my pocket to get my car keys. I get wet. I could also lift up my rain shell to go into my pocket to get my car keys. I get all wet. Now, the way I thought this jacket was going to work is that I can get inside. And I was a little bummed when I saw that I couldn't, but there is a way, and it's actually pretty ingenious and pretty easy. All you got to do is, because this is a 2-seam zipper, what you want to do is you only zipper the outside set of teeth. And now when I zipper the jacket up, I'm completely covered, completely closed. But if I go through that kangaroo pocket, I now come out on the inside of the jacket. So I can access my puffer inside and get my car keys out without unzipping the jacket all the way or picking it up. So I can get to the inner layer of my jacket. Just have to make sure that if you want to secure something in this pocket, you want to use that back pocket with the zipper, because if I don't and I try to put something in that front pocket, it will fall out and come out the inside of the jacket. So you do have to be careful when you're utilizing it this way, because you can lose something, but you can still get to the inside. You just have to make sure when you're zipping it to only use the outside layer and don't zipper that inside seam, because then you're not connecting that pocket and making that kangaroo pocket. You're allowing yourself to get to the inside. So you can still utilize it the way that I had originally thought, and I can access the inside of the jacket. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So it does actually function the way that I had originally envisioned in my head. Now let's talk about the rain shell while we have it on, because I have gotten the opportunity now to use this a couple of times. Now, my old rain shell, which I actually paid a fair amount of money for, and it's not that old, it worked good for like a couple months, but then the DWR coating came off it and it just leaks, like mostly at the shoulders. Now, I will say 2 of those days, it was kind of drizzly, like obnoxious rain, but it was still coming down. One of the days, it was raining pretty good. And this is before I hurt my back, so I was actually able to walk the dog, and it was raining pretty good. And I took the dog, I figured, hey, I'm gonna test out the rain jacket. He's gotta go for a walk anyway. I put the rain jacket on, and it was warmer, so I think I just had it on over like a flannel or a hoodie. I didn't have it on over the puffer, but I put it on. I walked the dog. We walked about 1.75 miles-ish, just under 2 miles. And my test was, are my shoulders wet when I got home? And they were not. And I did take a video of it, but I think I thought I transferred it to my computer, and I didn't. I deleted it off my phone to save space, and I deleted the video. So there was a video clip of my shoulders completely dry. The only thing that was wet, I had a gray sweatshirt on. I think I had my Flint and Tinder 10-year hoodie on. Was a little wet right here because I had it zipped about like this, maybe a little bit higher, but I didn't have the zipper all the way up, and it was raining pretty bad. So I got wet right here because I didn't have the rain jacket zipped all the way. But the places where I was getting wet, all of the seams here, I was completely dry. So the only part of me that leaked, if you will, was because I didn't zipper the jacket all the way up to the, up into the garage area. So if I zippered up to the garage area, it would have covered my mouth, and then I would have been completely dry underneath the jacket. So it worked great. And that was I wouldn't say it was a torrential downpour, but it was a pretty consistent rain, a little bit heavier, and we walked quite a ways. And yes, the dog had a rain jacket on as well. Constant Mountain, maybe if you make some dog rain jackets, we can review that too, because Duke's in need of a new rain jacket. His is getting a little ratty and not working quite as good, and this one worked well for me. So combining these two has been working out great. They will function the way I had originally hoped they would, but it doesn't work. It's not, you have to know that you can only have to zipper that outside seam. If you didn't realize it, you would probably figure it out eventually, but I did send my original unboxing to Constant Mountain, and they got back to me and said, hey, there is a way you can do that. This is how you do it. That's why I made that short, like literally minutes after they sent me that email. I'm like, I got to make this short, do an update, do a correction. So it is able, you are able to actually use this. So all in all, I've been very, very pleased with these. Again, this thing has been my go-to. I can wear this over a bunch of different layers. I've been wearing this over my Redline rally jacket, so I can get some wears out of that when it's 8 degrees outside and it's not necessarily the weather to wear an unlined denim jacket. I can throw that on underneath this, and honestly, I'm wearing a carpenter or a chore coat, so it's a little bit longer. It's not like a type 3 like I would normally wear, so it's a little bit longer, and this completely covers it, so you can't tell that I'm wearing a denim jacket underneath it. So it keeps me warm, and it also covers that jacket up, so you can't tell that I'm wearing a denim jacket and doing the double denim look underneath my puffer. Again, wore it on some hikes, and it was probably, I'd say, high 20s that day. It was about 30 something when we left the house, but we went up a little higher in elevation, hiked in the snow, and it was completely fine. I was actually getting a little warm by the time we got back because the temperature, it was the afternoon, so it rose a little bit. It might have got up to about 30 degrees and not the area we were hiking by the time we got done, but it was great. It handled it in the snow, the cold temperatures, the snow, doing anything. I really like it, and the infinity pocket is pretty interesting. That's really, if I have to say anything, is if I don't have the back pocket zippered, if I'm trying to get to that infinity pocket, sometimes I will get my hand stuck in the back pocket. So if you don't want that to happen, they're both zipper closed. You just can zipper that closed, and then you will be able to get right into the infinity pockets. That's really the only point of note, is if you do not have the back pocket zippered, sometimes your hand will go into there instead of through the infinity pocket, but each of them have their own zipper, so you could just zipper close that back pocket. And if you have the jacket zippered completely, you can still zipper this. Just please be aware though that once you unzipper the main seam, if you do have anything in the kangaroo pocket, you will have an opening along the zipper seam. So if you do have anything in there, either take it out, be aware, or use that back zipper pocket to secure anything like your car keys, like I have them zipped up now in the back pocket of the rain jacket. They're zipped, my car keys are zipped up in the inside because now the rain jacket's unzipped, my car keys are in there, I could potentially lose them. So really great jacket, love this design. It's really, really cool. It's really, really warm. This yeah, the 650 down, really, really warm. Very, very happy with it. Been staying toasty warm when it's very cold outside. So if you're looking at either of these pieces, I think they're well worth the money. I mean, $259 for a 650 goose down jacket, that's a really good price. I mean, you want to look at some of your big comparisons. I mean, I do have a Patagonia. I bought mine secondhand. I got it for a steal because it was a pretty ugly color, and also it was supposed to be green. It's yellow. I didn't know it was yellow until I opened the box, but they're like over $300 now. And while that is a synthetic, so it's going to stay a little bit warmer if it gets wet, it's not as warm as this. So this is warmer, it's cheaper, and it has this really cool feature that no one else has thought of yet. So I think it's a no-brainer. If you're looking for a good puffer, I'd say snag one. They're incredibly warm. I've been very, very happy with this. Incredibly warm, incredibly versatile. And one other note is because it doesn't have a hood, when you're wearing it underneath a shell layer, like combining with the Sideline poncho or Sideline rain jacket, you don't have those two hoods to contend with, which isn't that big of an issue if you're wearing it like this. But if it's raining and you want to put your rain hood up, you're either going to have a lot of bulk in the back of the neck, or you're going to have two hoods up, and sometimes your puffer hood will stick out from your rain shell, and then that'll just get wet, and then you get wet and uncomfortable anyway. So when I'm wearing this as a layer when I'm hiking, I like to have a crew neck for this exact reason. So if I'm layering it underneath a shell, I don't have all that bulk in the back of my neck. If I'm just wearing it just as a puffer, yeah, a hood is nice, but I don't really use it that much. If it's that cold, I personally prefer a hoodie. I'll wear a hoodie underneath and put that up because it's a little bit warmer on the back of my neck. But when I'm wearing it with conjunction with the shell, I do prefer to have a crew neck. It does make the wearing experience that much more comfortable. But there you go. There you have it. I hope this video helped you out just a little bit in your buying experience. So with that, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.